Okay, so Downhill is directed by Nat Faxon and Jim Rash. It stars Will Ferrell and Julia Louis-Dreyfus, who play a married couple, and in this movie, they go on a family vacation to the Alps to do some skiing, to spend some quality time together. However, during a situation where everyone believes they're going to die, Will Ferrell prioritizes his own survival over his family, and this brings a lot of tension between him, his family, and that's the movie. It's based off of a Swedish film called Force Majeure. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but ideally American remakes usually do not translate well to film. And honestly, I did not know about this movie until just a few weeks ago. You would think a movie starring Will Ferrell would at least have some buzz, but no, this one had its first trailer drop like a month before the movie came out. At least I saw a trailer on YouTube. I didn't even see a trailer in the theaters. And the first clips of this movie that I saw were TV spots. And I thought that was very weird for a Will Ferrell movie with someone like Julia Louis-Dreyfus, at least. Yeah, not a big movie star, but a lot of people know who she is. But I'm surprised they just said, oh yeah, this is coming out in a month. We'll just throw it out there. And after viewing the movie, yeah, I can understand why. This movie it's not very good, unfortunately. You can say this movie goes downhill really fast, but honestly, it just never really gets off the ground to begin with. So, honestly, the only two good things here, particularly Julia Louis-Dreyfus is really good here. She tries to balance the potential destruction of her marriage in this movie, and she's very good in this movie as, like, in particular, a scene where she just eviscerates Will Ferrell in front of their friends, and while it's embarrassing for him, you just understand everything that she's feeling at that time. And that was the only time where I actually cared in this movie, which is sad. Will Ferrell, he's not as good in this movie. Like, I know he can do serious roles. He was in Stranger Than Fiction, which was a serious role. He's also in a movie called Everything Must Go, where he was really good. In this movie, he's not as good, but you can at least tell he's trying in various scenes. Like, there's a couple scenes where he's trying to make up to his kids over what happened. And that's probably the best scene he has in the movie, unfortunately. It's just not very long, and it's not very in-depth. There's a lot of issues with this movie, I felt. It's so uneven. Now, with people like Will Ferrell and Julia Louis-Dreyfus in a movie, you'd think they would at least be funny, but this is a movie that, tackles a crumbling marriage, and they're trying to make it funny at times, and the comedy in this movie is just awkward and weird. Like, a lot of the jokes are just repeated, and not in the sense like, oh, this is a running gag or anything, so it just comes up infrequently throughout the movie. But no, they try to say a joke, and then it's like, hey, get it? Hey, get it? Hey, get it? It's like, yeah, I got it the first time, and I'm just not laughing because it wasn't funny to begin with. And there are some moments in this movie where it's kind of tries to be funny awkwardly, and it's like, there's a scene in the middle of the movie where Julia Louis-Dreyfus, she's wearing all this ski equipment, and she has to use the bathroom, of course. So it takes her forever to, like, undress, take all the ski equipment, and she doesn't even take it all off before she hits her back on the bathroom door, falls down, and she doesn't even take it all off. She's just embarrassed and just leaves the bathroom, and it's like, was that supposed to be funny? Like, am I supposed to be laughing? Because I'm not. That just wasn't that funny. Also, this movie, ideally in a movie like this, you should try to understand, like, where each of the main characters is coming from. And for a while, like, the first half is trying to understand where Julia Louis-Dreyfus is coming from, then sporadically it's Will Ferrell, where he's coming from. But the movie, I would say the most part, focuses too much on where Julia Louis-Dreyfus is coming from. And throughout the majority of the movie, I actually kind of supported her character. But she does something so horrible about halfway through the movie that has no consequences whatsoever. And I just hated her afterwards. It was shocking. And also, like, after she does what she does, she's still mad at Will Ferrell over what he did in this movie. And I'm like, screw you. You did something horrible that could also ruin your family. And you expect me to support you in this. And by the end, I just realized I don't really care for either of you. So, I guess you deserve each other. And the movie tries to make you feel bad for Will Ferrell's character because he's constantly beaten down by, his wife, his family, for what he did. And only about half the time, not even half the time, like a third of the time I actually felt bad. Like, oh, the only time I felt bad for him was the scene with his kids where he's trying to make up to them. That's really it. Also, this movie has a happy ending, which I did not really care for. Because, like, it just ends abruptly and it's supposed to be, oh, this is supposed to be a happy moment. Oh, the movie's over. Okay. And that's supposed to signify something that I feel like is not completely earned in any way. I just thought it wasn't a mature ending. It thought it was being mature for how it was constructing the scene, but it wasn't. It really wasn't, because like if this was a mature movie, they would actually, have consequences, and there are no consequences in this movie essentially. Like Julia Dreyfus wants, consequences for what Will Ferrell's done in this movie, but again, she doesn't want any consequences for her actions in this movie, and I just hated it. I really hated her character by the end, and like sometimes I like movies, not necessarily I like them, but it's like I do appreciate when movies give me a character I hate at first, and then I end up liking them. But then I see, but then if there's a movie where I actually start out liking character, and then they do something and I absolutely hate them afterwards, that's much worse. That is so much worse. Uh, Again, Downhill would be a movie that you could say went downhill really fast, but never really gets off the ground to begin with. In the end, Downhill is just so uneven. It doesn't know if it's a comedy or if it's a drama. It doesn't know where the comedy works. It's so awkward and random. The drama is severely undercut in this movie, and the characters are awful. The ending is just meh at best. Like there's no energy. There's just nothing. It's just I can see why it bombed. I can definitely see that. So I'm gonna go. I don't know, because like for the performances alone, it's worth watching. But again, the characters are just so awful that you definitely won't sympathize with anyone, and you definitely won't feel anything in the end. I guess I gave away spoilers to this movie, but at the same time, I'm saying, whatever. I'm gonna give this film 1.5 out of 4 stars, story mitts. Only for the performances, because they're at least tolerable. And I will say, this movie actually does make me want to go and check out the original Swedish version. So, did you see Downhill? I doubt it. What's your favorite dramatic performance by a comedian in a movie? Comment down below, subscribe to the channel. This is Pat, and take care.